Hello YouTube, it's Eternal Frost here with another video of random video game thoughts. Came across Titan Quest many years ago. I think it's been more than 10 years, if not, yeah, I think it's been about 10 years maybe. For those of you who are eagle-eyed, you may have noticed that there was an expansion pack that was released for about $14 on Steam this past week, and you would have seen that it was for Titan Quest, a very old game by now re-owned, currently differently owned studio known as Alienware. So these guys were part of THQ, or you know what? It's kind of a bit of a mess. It was like Alienware Studios, then THQ/Relic bought them, and then I guess they went under because of some poorly performing children's games. And then this game kind of disappeared in the mists of time, as it were. It was very interesting because this came out after Diablo 2. And, wow, this music's really loud. I'm going to turn that down. As triumphant as it is. So, that's kind of unnecessary. Where was I? Right. So, this game came out after Diablo 2, but prior to Diablo 3. Right around the same time that, another game, Torchlight, the first one, came out, and it's in the same vein, right? You've got a multiple player capable, although you can play it completely single player and offline, yay, for those of you who know, action RPG, you know, hack and slash sort of deal, where you basically point and click, pick up loots, and basically murder your way across the realms, right? The neat thing about this is that it's based off of, rather Titan Quest is based off of Greek mythology. So you see a lot of cameos of Greek entities, and some of the lore is very reminiscent of the mythology of Greece. Ancient mythology, of course. Now, in the DLC, Ragnarok, as it sounds, of course, supposedly takes you to the north and into the Norse mythologies. So that's something I've always been interested in, so I'm really excited to kind of play this. Now, although cloud saves are enabled across Steam, I only have really old characters that I don't even remember. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a new game for you guys, and we'll kind of start this quest from the beginning. And I don't know, maybe I'll move this over into a Let's Play eventually, but I do kind of want to play through the entire setup and go through the downloadable content and see where that gets us. So you'll be able to see all the pitfalls of this game as well as all the joys, because it's been called lackluster. You know, some people, I guess, just didn't like how things just didn't seem as flashy as Diablo, but you know what? I kind of like that. So it's... say accomplished. What's it say? Suitable level. Oh, that's kind of cheating. Let's just start from the beginning. And I completely forgot what I was talking about. Right. So a lot of the skills just they're not flashy at all. There's a lot of passive buffs and whatnot, and a lot of the things just don't seem like they're as pretty as Diablo. However, this game did have ragdoll physics long before Diablo.
One day, the sun will dim
I'll let this go.
and spread a shadow over the earth. Temples, which have stood forever, will be destroyed. The heavens will vanish, and the gods will fall upon the earth.
This is different.
One day the weak will have power over the strong.
I had to remember this part.
Poets will stop singing and instead take up the sword. It is in these darkest times that the strongest of heroes are born.
It's like every time I try to talk, something wants to talk over me. How weird is that? The little symbol, loading symbol on the bottom right is kind of different. Anyway, as I was saying, they did implement ragdoll physics, which is very unlike in Diablo 2, where everything had a very particular death animation. So it's kind of fun in this game to go and hit something really hard and watch them fly across the screen. It's not a lot of blood, but you know, you take what you can get. You also notice that the grass, I remember when I first played this game, the grass is what really drew me to it. not bad looking.
My poor horse.
Yo, needs you to rescue his horse. So we're gonna go and beat the crap out of these boars. And like most of my videos, I'm gonna try and stick between 30 minutes to an hour here, just to keep it a little bit easier to, digest. Oh, and in this playthrough, I will be attempting to play this as a, we'll go with a dual wielding berserker type class, because you know what? We're gonna do it like, I can't even equip it yet. We're gonna do it like, why can I do this? Oh, well, whatever. Probably have to have that class. Just do it like they did as a berserker, right? Oh, I can't even choose my...
You saved my horse. Thank you. But I'm not the only one in trouble. Just go down the road. Normally, we would welcome a weary traveler with offers. Satyrs. I never thought...
I'm not gonna let them talk, or else it's gonna take forever. But I will let the text scroll for at least a couple seconds, so you can pause it and read it at your leisure. The interface does seem to have changed a bit. Yeah, the game seems to have held up pretty well. It was pretty, not very well optimized, if I remember correctly, back in the day.
Hello, I am Aeson, guard captain. The men of this village hold guard on shifts. Our weapons are rusty and few, but you fight well when you defend your home and enter, traveler, and welcome to Hill.
The waters within these fountains are blessed by the gods. They say when you touch the water, your soul drinks from it. Should you suffer the dark fate in battle, your body
Resurrection
will return
shrines.
to the fountain, drink from a
Checkpoints.
different fountain.
Of course, anyone with an exclamation point above their heads is offering a quest. So, that's where you'll get, some of the rewards in this, like, expand your inventory. It's very Diablo-esque. I mean, you probably see it already from here.
Monsters led by a powerful
Again,
Satan
very well done,
shaman
I think.
appeared a few days ago and have driven us from our farms. We can hardly defend the village gates and have no one who can stop them from destroying our crops. Our farmland lies on the other side of the river,
Oh, they got
just
fire?
over this bridge. The shaman was last seen beyond the farms at the
See,
edge of the
excellent.
Helos woods. Please, rid us of this terrible sorcerer.
I'm just gonna ignore anyone that doesn't have a... and they rush off to their death. Yes! I'm gonna sell this knife, because...
Going out there, don't
actually gonna
point
keep the
it
knife,
there. Goodbye.
just in case. I can equip it later. Torches at beginning game are pretty hilariously strong, because they do fire damage in addition to physical damage. It's usually worth it to, instead of beelining through here, actually beating everybody up here, because 1, levels, and 2, I think there's some chests that are lying around. Also, you can gear up. Oh, another interesting thing about this game that was different than games previous, like Diablo, the enemies that you fight. They hold the weapons that they will drop. So if you see a monster with a shield and a sword, it can drop a shield and a sword, right? If you see a monster with an axe, it's gonna, it will drop an axe. What's interesting is you'll come across some monsters then that have like, glowing weapons or weapons on fire or things like that, and as it looks, those guys are probably holding unique or magical weapons. So it's kind of funny that, those exact treasures that you're looking for can be used against you. It's not so dangerous when a normal monster has it, but if you're not paying attention and it's a pretty beefy monster that's coming after you, it can get pretty harrowing. Let's see here. Average damage 17, average damage 17. You'll keep the club. For now. And so this uses the same kind of system that if you've played what is that game now? There's another recent game, relatively recent, that just got a few years ago got released, and it's been in development for a while, made by the same guys who made this game. Oh wow, I can't remember what it's called. It's kind of set in a kind of, I want to say, like Dark Ages time frame where everyone's still with swords and shields, but you can also get like flintlock muskets and stuff. And it's the same kind of game like this, action RPG. Wow, why can't I remember what it's called? Anyway, I'll probably remember it as soon as I start recording, right? It uses the same leveling and skill structure that game uses, right? And obviously it was on this game first, and then they use the same system in the new one. But you can choose 2 classes out of a variety. I think it's like 8 classes, and the class you end up is the combination of those 2 classes that you pick, right? But it's neat because you could, you can specialize in one class, of course. You can go full-on fighter, right? But you can be a fighter elementalist, you can be like a fighter like rogue, you know what I mean? That's how you can kind of mix things up. Now, it's not fighter, rogue, it's not D&D-ish. The classes here are kind of neat. Like, you have a hunter, you have a warrior, you have like a druid type class, and I think there was one released with this expansion called like a rune master. So, it's kind of neat. Just by adding that one class, they've actually added like 9, right? Because you have the Rune Master itself, and then the combinations that it gets added to with all the other classes, right? So each class you pick has a separate set of skills, right? And just like Diablo, they use various attributes, or they have various primary attributes that feed into it. Yeah, it's you'll see it when we start hitting the level up screens, but it's worth noting. This guy's got a shield, I want it. And armor.
You can't hold anymore.
Oh, I don't have Tom Portal yet?
You have no more room.
That's annoying. Oh, you know what I did? There's a place in town where you have to walk by it to activate the waypoints, and I completely never touched it, so... My mistake. I've got a little cold here, so if I sniffle every once in a while, my apologies if I forget to mute or don't mute fast enough. Apparently I'm a lot fatter than I look. Yeah, it's a surprisingly good looking game for how old it is. Why does this guy still have a quest? Did I forget to talk to him? Or?
Satyrs! Normally we would welcome a wee...
That was weird. I wonder if something's bugged there. It shows... Oh, it's this horse. There, see this purple thing on the map? Top right. It says Helios Portal. That's where I gotta go. So you should, before venturing the town, you should really hit that. See how it lit up there? To be able to town portal, basically. So this is gonna be interesting. Selling all my gear. Whoa. The damage per second is actually higher on the club. I'm gonna keep it though, because again, once we get dual wielding going on.
Until next time.
So here. Whoa, okay, there's a lot more than I thought. I thought there were 8. I forgot, Dream was included with another DLC. So you get, as you can see here, there are actually 10 different classes. And when you hit level 8, you'll get to pick 2. So for example, you can do defense and warfare for your typical, warrior type. Warfare being offensive, defense being obviously defensive. Runes is the new one, right? Here it says, the warrior shamans of the north inscribe their weapons and armor with magical runes, or cast them on the ground to control the battlefield. Drawing power from the ecstasy of combat, they are both proficient in melee and able to unleash magical fury. So I'm probably going to do something like warfare and runes. yeah, you can kind of see where like Storm and Earth would be your typical elementalist. Dream is very interesting. Allows you to like teleport and do things like that. But you can see like any combination of these, hunting nature being like a ranger, right, or hunting warfare, and you get your like archer type class. Rogue and warfare, you get like an assassin. You know, it's kind of neat because of the ability to combine these. You get a multitude of classes. Let's dig into the ruins class really quick, just to see what they got. So you have rune weapon, which looks like it replaces your regular attack and adds magic damage. And then you see here you can add, they're like skill trees, right? So you first start pumping the initial, and then it starts adding additional benefits or, you know, buffs to it. So Sacred Rage, that looks like something I'd want. So there's a good and interesting passive. Reckless Offense. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be perfect for Berserker type class. Well, that's interesting. Minus 14% strength requirement. That's pretty powerful. On here you get some healing on this side. Healing and defense. So this would be, this Rune of Life allows you to heal, increases your strength and movement speed. Oh, it looks like it's not healing, it's just a resistance. Runic Mind, so you get like traps. Interesting. Oh, this is a passive. That's right, so circles are passive and squares are active. Interesting. So this will add a chance. You see how it says 4% chance to be used. It'll add a chance to add its effect to any strikes. Well, that's kind of interesting. Add shield chance to... Alright, so we're not going to commit to that now, because I think what we're going to do is we're going to first commit to warfare. And there is a reason for this. That, right there, that dual wield, we're going to go straight to it. You'll notice it's passive, but like I said, we're going to go straight through, hit, pick up dual wield, and then I'll be able to berserk my way to freedom, I guess. I'll probably use Onslaught. We'll figure it out. Onslaught's the main attack function for the Warfare Mastery. Basically, as you hit things, you gain charges. And as you gain charges, you become more resistant to pain and gain increased defense and then increased attack speed. It just starts to stack pretty quick. So that would, I think that would work well with this, like this reckless offense, and just, you know, add stacks as they do. So, just kind of curious what this does. Looks like it's elemental damage. You can't have two left mouse click effects, so maybe that's the limitation there. So let's go straight for dual wield. So notice we have multiple skills. Each time you hit this plus here, it increases your tier of mastery, and this is where you're getting your, as you can see, your strength, dexterity, and health bonuses. This is where you're getting your stat bonuses. Now you also do get stat points, right? So you can kind of go out of the mold, but by increasing this plus, your character gains health, etc. Now you can just go all in onto your skills, right? You get skills, which are very important. You just don't use, or rather you don't gain stats as quickly, which are going to be used to equip weapons and whatnot. So what I typically do in this game, I actually preserve my points available until there's a weapon or something that I want to equip. And then, like these, see, it looks like I required strength 58. 1 point is going to give me like 4 points of strength. Bam, now I can equip those swords. Things like that, where it's like, if there's a weapon I want to equip, I'll do it just to, you know, if I need that extra oomph to add to the weapon. Or if, you know, if I'm dying too much or something, I might start pumping up health or energy, but usually I'm dumping it in strength or dexterity just for requirements, you know. So, there it is.
Until next time.
Now that I got the waypoint activated, I can spend all this time walking all the way back. Yeah, hoping to go Super Berserker Fury here. Can't wait to dual wield torches. Torches of death. course, as with any game, money is tight, so you kind of want to pick up what items you can. And I've noticed in most boss fights, it's best to clear the mobs first. Sans regen shrine. Because I am in pain. Where you going, punk? Especially if you'll notice that the bosses have a boatload more health than and damage, do a lot more damage than regular mobs. So sometimes you'll find that really it's just a matter of bringing enough health potions. Now there's a limit, like you can't really spam health potions per se, but it kind of is a matter of how many health potions you have when it comes to beating these guys. There's no way you'll be able to pick that up to sell it. I'm surprised there's some freezing going on here. Like, I'm well above the specs. Like I said, the game's not completely optimized. As good looking as it is. Like, when I step through this portal, serious frame drops. There. Yeah, it went to like, what, maybe 30 frames a second? Maybe 20. And of course, there's those micro stutters. It's just weird to see that, of course. Especially when the game is this old. So here's exactly what I'm talking about. You got these shields and these helmets. Looks like it's just level requirement. That's why I can't wear them. But that's where I'd be usually pumping up my stats.
Goodbye, my friend.
You can't go by weapon damage here. See how it says 9 to 16 damage, whereas the club does 8 to 21. The attack speed matters quite a bit. So average versus slow, this axe probably does more DPS. I'm wrong, it does less. But you get the picture. So it's sometimes if they're close, or even if they don't seem to be that close, it's just worth it to just kind of throw it into your equipment to see if it actually does matter or make a difference.
Goodbye.
I can ease your load.
Oh, I forgot. I need to spend money here to expand my storage area. Very, very Diablo-esque, right? Putting items here that I will want to use later. I'm not going to bother with the transfer area because I don't want to cheese my way through this. Why am I using a copper bangle?
Good morning, friend. Goodbye, my friend. You defeated the powerful shaman? Astounding! Your victory today is great, but I fear there will be more monsters tomorrow. At least there is enough of the harvest left to feed us all. Take this gold. I know it's not much. Please seek out the Spartan general Leonidas. Petition him on my behalf. Ask him to send a few of his warriors to protect us, and quickly. Thank you again, stranger. We are indebted to you, but we won't be safe until please bring word to General Leonidas.
You know, I didn't know who Leonidas was when I first played this game, and now 300 came out and even had a sequel. Where'd that guy go? Oh. I'm like, he gives me a quest, I know it.
When a pack of satyrs attacked, by the gods, they grabbed Tellus and dragged him into a roadside cave. The roads aren't safe. Nowhere is safe.
Nope. Sorry. Guess it just sucks to be you. So beasts like these monsters, they might not have equipment when they die, but you saw that boar drop that little thing that kind of sounded like an amulet when it dropped. They're relics, and they come in pieces. Much like that other game that I was talking about that I can't remember for the life of me what it's called. You can combine those relics to complete the relics, and then they can offer... They're like gems in Diablo 3, where you can put them into you can use them on gear, not socketed gear, but just any gear in general, to buff stats and attributes. So, it can make some already strong items much more potent. And, you know, at some point of the game, they start to become a necessity to stack and get some really good bonuses. Just like in that other game that I'm never going to remember, you also have the ability to combine them with recipes to make really big bonuses. There's a slot in my equipment, screen, this circle here, where you can equip those relics, those completed relics, and they will offer massive passive bonuses, so, or other things. And with the right set of passive bonuses, of course, you get so many, just like Diablo, right? You get so many stacks that, like, 1 point of damage becomes multiplied 40 or 50 times over, you know? So... Shrine in the northeast. Shrines are really good in this game to help in a bind, or if you're fighting a boss that just seem to be struggling against. If they're experienced shrines, especially early game, they can be quite useful. What did the boars ever do to us? Like, really? Must have done something bad. Combat? Ooh, battle marker. It's time to slay things with wild abandon. Notice my attack speed flew up. There, I had a critical hit there. That is part of the fun of this game, watching monsters fly when you hit them hard enough. Something I enjoy about this game, probably a bit too much, is knocking monsters off cliffs or into the water. Man, I'm just surprised at the the amount of slowdown in this game. Makes no sense. Turn around, punk. And it feels so weak when this thing wears off. Sucking everything up until I get all my gear. Until I got equipment in all my slots. Probably need the money anyway. Over here. Oh, that noise meant that I was pretty close to dying, but didn't really matter, right? Because that happened. Gonna go back to town really quick. Maybe equip some of that gear that I left in that chest. In the stash.
So, what suits your fancy? We shall see you again, I hope.
Good day to you.
Like he was trying to right click and it's not working, or shift clicking. You'd think.
Are safe with me.
%8 to 36. Looks good. Looking a little bit more like a warrior.
Welcome.
I'm just going to sell all the weapons. When it comes to buying... Oh, look at that. Quite a little late. When it comes to dual wielding, once I get there, I'll probably have enough money to buy a weapon anyway.
I'll
So,
hold your things for you.
probably don't need to be stocking these now that I think about it.
Here I keep you.
Anything else?
You also find, like, these vendors do sell, like, rare items. In this game, they're green, right? Or purple. So it's sometimes worth it to check the vendors. So, see that he's got some magical items. So...
Goodbye.
you'll be spending a lot of money on storage space.
So long.
Oh, you know what? Forgot to skill up. Didn't I say that? Because because I could probably do dual wielding now. Oh, there's a bronze hand axe I can kife. And another one. That one's probably broken because it didn't light up. Alright, let's get this dual wielding on. Alright. Bam. And I might as well get some onslaught going on. We'll do the passive first for weapon training. What's this? Dodge attacks. Always helpful if you're going to be dual wielding, right? Got 1 point. What do I use it on? Let's see. You know what? I'm going to go with onslaught first. 10%, 3%, 5%. Yeah, never mind. I will do weapon training first. Decisions, right? Alright, so now I should be able to equip 2 weapons. I believe. Yep, this is my DPS is actually reduced. It's kind of interesting. I have to wait because I've netted. That's annoying. There is a button, X, that only allows you to see magical pickups. These ornate chests always drop something nice. They have like majestic chests, I think. Maybe those are the ones.
Good fortune finds me.
There's a type of chest that the first time you see it will always drop a legendary. I think the Diablo 3 chests are like that now too. Sweet. Ring. That's a beefy stick. Go with the fighting sticks. Get all Kali on their asses. Now I feel like a proper berserker. Almost. Just some blue war paints and a big beard. That's what I need. That's what they need. More character customization. With character generation. Feels weird clubbing birds to death. As you walked out into a field and saw a guy just like clubbing birds. Die, birds! I hate feathers. All your weird white poop. It's not really poop. It's a combination of poop and pee. I know, weird. I'm sorry. I might wander around a bit because I haven't played this game long enough that I don't remember where all the things were. One thing that's different about this game that you didn't see in Diablo is that the dungeons in this game are not randomly generated, so the maps are always the same. Some people kind of see that as a detriment. And I admit, for replay value, it does make it seem a little less interesting. Of course, the character selection is a lot more interesting, in my opinion, the classes and those dynamics, but it does get a bit tiresome, especially because you know exactly what to expect and where. That can also work to your benefit, of course, right? If you know exactly what boss is where, you can easily run through the game pretty quick. Unlike, Diablo 2, where if you had a bad RNG, you could take like half an hour doing something that takes like, a minute, just because the RNG is not in your favor. So, you win some, you lose some. Oh, there you go. I thought you could make that bigger. I hate things that run from one when I try to hit them in the face. Just stand still so I can smack in the face. It's like, why are you only using one hand? You have two. Oh, I think I could go left here for stuff. There's a weird, like, sub-boss on the right that you have to go past. He always drops his leather harness, or I think it is. So, you know, it's not bad to encounter him. I honestly don't remember if there's something down here. Man, I'm chewing through potions. That adds like piercing damage. This doesn't look like the way. Let's talk to the guy and get our potions. I think when we hit the next city, I'm gonna call it a break for it, and then we'll continue
Traveler,
on.
please, you must assist.
Oh, that's what it was, skeletons. Oh, that's the other thing too. There's like inherent resistances to monster types, like pointy things like swords and spears and whatnot. Don't do well against undead, but blunt weapons like maces, or the clubs I'm using now, are great for undead. Skeletons, I mean. Zombies can... I don't think zombies have the same resistances. Ooh, that almost killed me. Something was hurting me bad, and I think it was these birds. Should not be having this much trouble this early. That's not a good sign. Oh man, I was hoping I could get his armor. It looked pretty. Oh, I have no potions. This is go very poorly for me.
You can't hold anymore.
I've had items roll off the edge and into the abyss, as it were. It's quite depressing.
Hello there.
think I'm gonna grab some armor. Because I'm not getting any, so... Look, they don't even have shin guards yet.
Goodbye.
Could be half of the reason why I'm dying.
Goodbye, my friend.
You can store your goods with me. Hermes guide you.
We got skill-wise. There we go, one of each. Now the slow climb up this tree. Some damage resistance. There we go. That should help. That should help greatly, actually.
Tellus, still alive? I can hardly believe my ears. I had given up. Thank you, warrior. Thank you. You saved the life of my friend.
And no gold to treat me with? What the hell? It's the only reason why I did it. It's not even a real belt. Oh, really? Gonna need the money, looks like. Yeah, this is not gonna go well because there's that sub-boss up here and I have no health potions. Remember what I said about health potions? This might get messy. Here's the sub-boss. Good part is now I can come back and get a whole bunch of potions for my troubles.
The way is clear? Good. Well, I'll be moving on, I suppose. Here, have this for your troubles.
Yay. I do believe it does more damage. Town visits are frequent until you get gear. I just want shin guards, or boots, or whatever. I've made so many characters that are spear and shield wielding, you know, because, you know, hoplite.
My blades will serve you in a pinch.
I don't even think I saw what's... Oh, hey, that's what we need. I'll take it.
Goodbye, my friend.
A good day to you. Your goods are safe with me.
Next few levels are going to be quite boring because I'm not going to get anything new, just kind of level up my mastery to increase my stats. And probably increase all my bonus, my passives. I really hate how some monsters run for me in this game. Makes you want to merge with them harder. Higher levels, that onslaught ring that appears around me gets ridiculously big. I thought I heard a ring or something, but... or what it was. Hello, peasant.
I know it's dangerous here, but I can't go home. My daughter was supposed to be married. Alas.
Bad dog. I've noticed when you do like just enough damage to kill them, their feathers don't go around as much. They turn that little black ball that you saw. Like they're supposed to explode in a puff of feathers, but sometimes they just turn into a small ball of feathers. Ooh, that's dangerous. So those certain hags, the storm witches, or the crones, I'm sorry, they have that little blue aura that will add lightning damage to anything around them in a radius. And if you're not paying attention, that lightning damage easily like triples the amount of damage they do to you. So if you're not paying attention, especially if you don't have a lot of magic resistance, it can be over pretty quickly. Which kind of is this game, right? It happens at higher levels in Diablo. I've noticed here a lot quicker and a lot sooner. You end up in cases where, you know, the difficulty is either non-existent or it's, you know, it's stupid. It ramps up stupid fast. There's no real in between. Give me your necklace. I shouldn't have to worry about regular equipment now. Now that I have all the regular gear. I'm in trouble picking items up. Find the guy's necklace or charm or whatever the crap it is. Time to get our just rewards.
The necklace! Oh, may the goddess Hera bless you!
Yep, with that, I'm actually going to stop for now. I'm going to go grab something to eat. I'm a little hungry. Go ahead and throw me a like, subscribe, tell me if you'd like to see more, or, you know, what your experiences with Titan Quest are, or if you're excited for the Ragnarok DLC. Hopefully we'll get there sooner rather than later, but if you want to see me record the whole series, let me know. Otherwise, I'll power level and see how fast I can get there. So, this is Eternal Frost, signing out.